Hello, everyone. Welcome to Doers Within Emerging Markets, Time for Emerging Markets. I'm your host, Jacob Fortum. And today, our highlight for this episode is Aliko Dangote. He's considered the richest man in Africa, and he is the president and chief executive officer of Dangote Group. On the website, it says president and chief executive of the Dangote Group. And Dangote is a very good example of someone who invested himself in his country of Nigeria, but also in the spirit of building products locally. If you guys had listened to the earlier episode, I talk about Mohammed from Tanzania that started the MEATL group. I think Dangote has a similar background in terms of manufacturing, right? So Dangote, based in Nigeria, has one of the largest, actually the largest cement manufacturing plants in Nigeria, and he also exports most of these products into Cameroon, for example, which is where I'm from, where I was born and raised, and Gabon, Chad, which are neighboring countries of Nigeria. But most importantly, he's someone who actually invested his resources, and he put the risk out there. He understood the risk, but he also invested his time, energy, and also his mindset in building manufacturing companies in Africa, including cement. He also does stuff like sugar and basic necessities that people need. And with the urbanization coming up and people and real estate market booming, he was way ahead of the times to kind of see the value of building, of being at the forefront of developing the raw materials that are necessary to create, provide the resources needed to build these buildings with his cement production. But let's just take a step back. I think what is very amazing about Aliko is that he still dreams big, right? As the richest man on the African continent, he still does some really amazing work to give back to the community through his foundation, and also just some of the business side of things. He's now at this point building the largest oil refinery, I think, in the world, actually. So he doesn't stop where he is because, based on the net what he has, but he is very focused on continuing to do the work that, provide more jobs, will create a more thriving local economy through his businesses. But most importantly, how he can be of impact on the continent based on the resources he has and based on the assets he has through the business he has built. One of the things that was really interesting about just reading more about him and watching some videos about him was, one of the things is like he's really passionate about Pan-African and ensuring that we have better intertrade policies that can really propel intertrade businesses, intertrade dealings. That would be very critical on how Africa develops moving forward. So, there was this one video that he was talking with Mo Ibrahim, who is also another billionaire. He started Celtel, that became one of the revolutionary companies that resulted to the proliferation of mobile phones in Africa. In this conversation, Mo Ibrahim, he expresses frustration of not being able to do business, with neighboring countries of Nigeria, and also the difficulty of him traveling across Africa because he needs visas to go to different African countries, whereas people from the US with the United States citizenship or the UK citizenship can pretty much get into most African countries without a visa. So, and one of the things he was advocating with Mo Ibrahim was like, how can we foster African Union policies, which is something that has been going on for the past few years, but how can we make that standardized? How can we provide businesses or business owners, small business manufacturers to be able to move around the African continent easier, and also their goods as well, right? Intertrade policies has to be better. And I think in the long term, that helps all the businesses, including Dangote Group. So I like the fact that he focused on that. And I think that's the highlight of this episode. Like, we need people like him who have the status, that have the financial means to foster some of these agendas, right? Intertrade policies, as well as, enhancing new ways from which we can actually penetrate, for which we can actually travel much more easily across the African continent. And I think that's something very appealing and something that is very encouraging for people like him to say that. So Aliko Dangote, great entrepreneur, an icon in Africa, someone who's really creating value for many. And, with the Dangote Group, is all the cement, the other edible products that he has really capitalized on the market, and he's doing some really amazing work across the African continent. He has cement plants across the continent, I think 10 plus countries. And, the oil refinery is something that requires a lot of investment, but it's something that's he has been working on for the past years. We was able to raise capital, the African continent to kind of to sponsor part of the oil refinery project. But such an amazing guy, and someone that I wanted to highlight here. And I do know that, he has been an inspiration for many. He still is. And I'll put the link of his company, and you can check that out as well. We do have a reading group. I just want to mention that it's Mondays to Thursdays. Right now we have the reading that we have for the next few from beginning next week is by Callistus Juma. Unfortunately, he passed away recently, a couple of years back, but he wrote this very inspiring book that we are now reading. I'll put the links of the reading groups below. This book is called The New Harvest: Agricultural Innovation in Africa. You can find that on Amazon. It's by Callistus Juma, and it's pretty affordable. $9 for the Kindle version, $10 for the Kindle version. The paperback you get it for $26. But you can join us for that. It starts next week Monday, and every Monday to Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern time. So we'll start the first session of that on April 19th. So I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing you guys at the session. Please feel free to follow this podcast, or you can definitely subscribe on YouTube. I post all of this on YouTube as well. And you can follow me as well on LinkedIn and any other social media. You tend to find me, and I'll include my contacts in this episode in the link below. So thank you so much for listening, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys for the next episode. Thank you for your time, and please have a wonderful day, and be safe and well, and stay blessed.